very psychological. It's been treated like a warfare because you see most rappers, most of the rappers that have been successful in handling rap beefs and coming out at the top, most of them tend to be readers, very good students of history, good students of warfare, smart, intelligent guys. So most times, if you find rappers who have been successful in rap beefs, they are basically smart guys. Tupac, well read. 50 Cent, well read. Nas and Jay Z, well read. Ice Cube, well read. And if you come recently, you would notice again that people who have been successful. Drake has also been very successful with his previous rap disses, with Meek Mill and Pusha T. If you look at how Pusha T handled the story of Adidon, you would see that Pusha T is also a very, very intelligent rapper. See, for you to come out on top, you need to be intelligent. I don't just mean intelligent, book smart. You have to also be street smart. You have to be able to gather intel to expose your enemy. You have to be able to bait your enemy. You have to know your enemy, and you have to know yourself, or else you are going to lose every victory. And for every victory, you are going to lose. So, if you guys follow Tupac's this, his whole diss with Biggie, that will, some people have acclaimed it to be one of the best diss tracks to ever exist in the history of hip hop. You will see that Tupac has been able to carry this Machiavellian kind of, warfare strategy and approach. Look at Nas's Ether, for example. Nas did some kind of psychological dissection of his opponent, who was Jay-Z. So, same thing with 50 Cent, what he did with Ja Rule, and 50 Cent knows how to take his beef, he knows how to televise his beef. He doesn't take it just into the song. 50 Cent takes his beef into the theater. He bought up Ja Rule's tickets the other day, and the guy was performing to just empty seats. So if you want to see beefs the proper way, you have to understand that it is a psychological warfare. These days you can't take beef to the street and start pow pow pow. No, that's wrong. It's no longer a thing. So this time around, guys have to emasculate themselves, break themselves if possible, on the microphone. Now, the success of beef, let's look at the patterns. Like I said earlier, there is psychological warfare. You need to know your enemy very well. Yes, you can see what Tupac did with Diddy, exposing a whole lot of things, talking about his beginning, how he was sleeping on the couch, how he helped him. You see, most times, most of these big disses, the defense or the aggressor tends to put himself like a father figure. Just the way, in Ether, Nas said Jay-Z was happy to break bread with a god. That is referring to himself. In Tupac's own, Tupac said he allowed Diddy sleep on the couch and Biggie sleep on the couch. In this particular one with Meek Mill, there was also something that Drake was talking about how he has helped Meek Mill, raised him up, and a whole lot of things like that, and literally gave him stardom and gave him some of his hit tracks. So, if you really want to win a rap beef psychologically first, you need to be able to establish a father-son relationship. You get the point? Either through success, through maturity. It doesn't even necessarily have to be through resources, but it depends on how you can play the card very well. I mean, Drake was able to use the father's, the successful guy strategy on the Meek Mill, and he won. Even went on a whole lot of PR campaign wearing an RIP Meek Mill t-shirt for Meek Mill. You get the point? But he failed to execute that with Pusha T. I don't know if you guys are getting it now. In Pusha T's angle, for example, Pusha T came with psychological warfare. He was street smart. He came with data. Pusha T needs to be a data scientist. He came with lots of data. Men and women can lie. You guys can see a lot of things on a diss track. You guys can lie to yourself on a diss track. But you see, when the guy comes with hard proof evidence, you can't win. Especially if he executes it so well like Pusha T did on the story of Adidon. You get the point? Now, let's move quickly into Now that we have seen the success patterns of this, like I have established, you can use psychological warfare, establish a father-son relationship, try to son your opponent, try to, as an SON, try to suppress them, try to establish, try to dominate them, that kind of thing, try to place an alpha relationship over them. Then the next one, you could use psychological warfare, you could use intimidation, you could use street intimidation, the way 50 Cent did. You could use resources. You could intimidate people with your PR power, the way Drake did with Meek Mill. You can use data and evidence. You can even be investigative, the way Pusha T did with, Drake. Now, the most important thing I'm trying to establish here, guys, is that for you to win in this track, you have to create it or take it on like warfare. You have to be strategic. Now, let's examine Kendrick and Drake's diss track so far. For people who have been saying these tracks are not supposed to be dirty and whatever, I'm sorry, there's a reason why it's called diss tracks. Disrespect is why they are called diss tracks. To get a point, guys. So firstly, I heard Drake fired the first shot. No. It started from the very beginning, first person shooter, Drake featuring J. Cole. And everything was going on fine and good, where they were trying to establish a trinity of rap gods. Kendrick, J. Cole, and Meek Mill. And Drake. Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake, the three guys, the big three. Then Kendrick replies in the Like That song, Metro Booming, Future. They have that song featuring Kendrick. And Kendrick blatantly refuses to be in the big three. You see, Kendrick says it is only big me, meaning it's just him. Now here's the thing. One thing we must establish in this whole rap thing is Kendrick believes that he is him. He doesn't want to share the crown with anybody. And while these other two guys tend to, they might be pacifists, they might be peaceful guys, they might be noble guys, Kendrick wants them to understand, he has always been establishing that from the very beginning, that the throne is for one person. Please, you could go back and listen to Control, Big Sean's Control. You see, just maybe he doesn't believe in this bromance. They could be bros, but he doesn't believe in the bromance of, all right, three of us can be kings. That's not possible. And I think just maybe these guys are scared of him. So they just want to call it easy and truce. Like, all right, we're all big three. Nah, you have to fight for it. I'm trying to raise the bar. Who's trying to jump and get it? That was what he said in Control. So I feel like these guys are trying to be pacifist, they're trying to be gentle, while you have someone like Kendrick, who's wild, who's vicious, and who is untamed. So if we are looking at the whole picture here, we'll see that number one, establishing the first fact, Kendrick does not want to share the crown with anybody. And he believes he's the most superior rapper. He's the most superior. He's not sharing with anybody. That's one. The two, J. Cole does not believe he is the superior rapper. He wants to share the crown. Drake, on the other hand, wants to also share the crown. He doesn't mind. And in fact, if you look at first person shooter, you notice that he doesn't really beat the fact that he's the greatest in terms of rap. He beats his chest in terms of sales, pop star treatment and things like that. However, the real reason these guys have been compared from the very beginning is not because of pop. It is because of lyricism, which sadly Drake has fallen short if we are looking at how rap purists think. When ghostwriter allegations started coming around, it was sad, but it was almost believable and credible, because you see, someone on Drake's shadow who is trying to be pop, it is going to be very difficult for somebody like that to keep up with rap. So when a whole lot of people try to say, guy, you're not real, you are fake, you are not real, you are not you, that kind of claim may hold a little water there. Now, if you look at the diss tracks the both of these guys have released so far, from Drake's firing shots and Taylor freestyle, bringing in the ghost of Tupac and Snoop Dogg, AI attempts, you will notice something. Drake is actually very intelligent, playing mind games, very great with psychological warfare, yes. But if you look very well, you will notice that he doesn't really know his enemy. He knows what is on the surface. Yeah, we all know Kendrick's idols are West Coast greats like Snoop Dogg, NWA, Tupac, Dr. Dre. It's everybody knows that it's established. But Pusha T revealed a big news about you on a diss track. That was a masterpiece. It was not surface level. Nobody knew about it. That's the craziest expose you can ever get on anybody at all. It was intentional. My point is, examining Drake's diss, it was great. That guy can rap. Yes, he can actually. He's smart. The AI thing was great. Even though he may not beat the allegation, but he forgets to understand something. Drake, stop trying to beat Kendrick at rapping. You have other ammunitions, you have other resources, you have other things. Dig up things that we want to know about this guy who doesn't really release songs he barely releases albums regularly. It's always 4 years, 5 years hiatus. You get a point. Drake cannot win Kendrick on rapping. I am very sorry. Because number one, Kendrick has consistently established that he's a rap sweetheart. The OGs F with him, he's loved. Number two, again, Drake, don't forget, you are not even American. You will not win in that area. You need to find other things. You need to, okay, the wife beater allegation is another thing, but he needs to bring up solid proof. You have the resources, maybe start campaigns, do something, but you can't win this guy on rap. You can't. That's one thing. See, Kendrick is not Meek Mill. And, Meek Mill has his life out there. Kendrick is enveloped. He's very close, he's close-knitted. You can't, and it seems that there is nothing much he knows about Kendrick. Why don't you start with psychological things? Look through. I think that's a lesson for us all. Don't share too much. Do not share too much. Maybe that's why J. Cole drew away from the fight, because if you look at it very well, it looks like J. Cole and Kendrick are closer than we know it. So it's going to be very messy if both of them air their laundries. But my point is, it is clear that Drake can rap, but he doesn't know much about Kendrick. So even if Kendrick says, Drake, you're a ghostwriter, you have ghostwriters, it is going to seem like Midas gold. Because Kendrick is loved as a rapper, as a more superior rapper. So I don't think Drake should go that area. Don't go to the area of the established. Don't go to the area that we know about Kendrick. Yeah, you are more successful than him in terms of resources. Yes, you tried to do that with Pusha T, and that didn't go well because you can see Pusha T might not be as rich as Drake, but Pusha T got the assignment done. Kendrick, on the other hand, it is also very clear that Kendrick knows some sides of Drake, but in terms of, he knows how to connect it to the audience. He doesn't really know Drake that much, but he tends to know what the audience are thinking about Drake, no matter how much they love him. The black and white allegations. Is he really a black man? Is he doing this for clout? What is he doing? Is he de-evolving? Is it degenerate? What is going on with his music? The guy who sang Take Care, who told us about Best I Ever Had, who gave us this nice emo music. What is going on? What is he doing with Sexy Red? Is it derailing? Kendrick seems to understand Drake better in that area. He knows what the audience is thinking. But Drake does not know what the audience think about Kendrick. That's why he thinks he can out-trap Kendrick. I'm sorry, Drake. I think you should find other angles. Even if you have the wife beater allegation, find something stronger, something firmer to use against Kendrick. But if you're trying to out-trap Kendrick, it will not work. Nothing you say, even if you resurrect all the greats, you just got a season the system. It won't work. Because you see, the thing is, Drake's authenticity as a rapper has been buried ever since the ghostwriter allegation came up, and he didn't do very well about killing it, like burying the allegation. That was one area of the whole thing that I noticed about this. They are all beaten, and one reason why Kendrick might be leading is because of the race card he played. Telling Kendrick Drake the N-word privilege, telling Drake rather the N-word privilege, I remove it from you. Drake is supposed to hit deeper. And he may never be the allegation. He may never be the allegation that Drake, you're not a black man. You are raised by a white mom. Drake, if you're trying to rap, a major segment of your audience will be black guys. Speak truths. Speak psychological truths that can connect. Tell him about how many people you've raised from the hood. Show receipts. I don't know what you have to do, bro, but you can't rap this. You can't out-rap this guy. Rap would not work. You have to do something else. Psychological warfare. Maybe talk to his exes. Something, but not rapping. I'm not saying you should not deliver all those things in rap, but I'm saying your rap can't come that way. You can't talk about it. You're trying to get the slaves freed. If Kendrick says, "Hey, I'm trying to electrify them," your music is trying to pacify them, you need to say something about that. These are strong allegations. And by default, your setting is already loose because you're Canadian. Hip-hop is American. So, examining both, and you can see Kendrick is also showing one thing. Drake, I write better. If you wake me up anytime, I'm a writing machine. That is one thing a whole lot of us need to understand about this rap piece. Kendrick is not only showing that he's a good rapper, he's showing that he's up to the task and he's faster, he's more efficient, and he has depth. A whole lot of people have been saying things about Kendrick. They're like Kendrick. They are not very impressed with what Kendrick has been doing so far. Yeah, because I think another thing I want to also say about Kendrick's side is that Kendrick might not be a battle rapper. Either he has, an ultimate motive, because I expect him to have shot this guy up in one diss track. But since he's enjoying this whole thing, or he's just making calculated moves to bring this guy to an inevitable end. You get a point? Because if you are releasing one this track, releasing another, I think he's trying to make a statement here. Because of course, if you listen to all those things, that guy will rap circles around Drake. I'm talking about the better and more superior rapper. Double entendres, metaphors. It's not surface level thing. Digging up receipts here and there. Although there are still some facts Kendrick has been unable to establish on the daughter allegation. If Drake has another secret love child, this might actually kill Kendrick's reputation here. But you see, the thing is, Kendrick already has a default love spot for these listeners. So whatever he says might not. So I think the person who needs to work harder here to dethrone Kendrick is Drake. I mean, Kendrick doesn't really have much to prove, even though he's only releasing more. And Kendrick is doing more of psychological warfare, talking about Drake as a man, as a father, as a son, as an irresponsible person. Kendrick is doing more of a psychological dissection, because I think he doesn't really have much. I think this guy doesn't have much, but he really wants to stick on this guy. He really wants to stick on Drake. If we all see clearly, we will know that Kendrick does not have enough intel on Drake, but he's willing to go the mile. Either he already has it and he's just baiting Drake. We don't know yet. So, but all I have to say here is, these guys are two good rappers. Drake is really doing a good job, but I don't think this is something he will win. if he does not bring. You see, the thing is, when somebody is already a winner in a field and you are the underdog trying, I'm sorry, Drake is the underdog when it comes to rap. I mean, trying to attract Kendrick. Because you see, his scorecard in terms, I'm not talking about pop. Drake's scorecard in terms of rap has not been very good in the last 5 years, last 7 years. Drake might have been at the top as a pop star. You guys should get me right. As a pop star. But you cannot be a rap great if you have ghostwriter allegations trailing your tail. Do you get the point? And if you are Canadian, you know you're going to be evaluated harsher. They're going to, measure you on a different pedestal. Do you get the point? So what I am now saying is, for Drake to win Kendrick, he should not go with rap, just trying to rap faster or whatever. No, he should not go with technicalities. He should go with theatrics or something better. You get it, guys? You should go with something theatrical. You should go with something the audiences would not deny. Facts, Kendrick and Drake, hire Intel, hire the CIA or whatever, but you need to bring out debt on Kendrick. You need to show people you have debt on Kendrick. You cannot trap Kendrick, I'm sorry. Kendrick, on the other hand, if you do not want to lose your credibility as a god MC, if you don't want to lose it, if you can't kill off someone in one diss track, if you can't show that you have something or that you can nail this guy's coffin and end his career, like you've always said you wanted him to, DIE, then you need to do better. You need to show us you can rap, but show us substance. Not just, we need substance that we can believe. If you're talking about a child, show us. Kendrick, you need to now support your rap with proof, with substance. That is how the guys have always won the diss track, guys. Let me know what you guys think, guys. Cheers.